Rolly Romero and Isaac Pitbull Cruz.
In the last episode, we gave our predictions, and all of us were going for Rolly Romero. It turns out that he got absolutely shit on, and I guess we were all wrong. We don't know shit about boxing.
Tank tweeted out saying that Rolly was gonna win.
You guys want to say we don't know shit? Then Gervonta Davis doesn't know shit about boxing.
You know, I referred back to his judgment because he fought both of them.
Last minute replacement Sebastian Fundora came in as the underdog against the Australian rising star Tim Tszyu.
This was the bloodiest fight I think I can remember in quite a while. I'm gushing blood every single round. Could not see. He kept on wiping his eyes. Sebastian Fundora did very well, but he didn't beat Tim Tszyu. That Tim Tszyu wasn't 100% Tim Tszyu.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of the Last Round Podcast, where we talk about traditional boxing to influencer boxing and everything between. Our game plan for tonight is to talk about the first ever PBC and Prime video card of the year 2024, headlined by Tim Tszyu as he took on 6'6" Sebastian Fundora. We'll also be going on the co-main event featuring Rolly Romero and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. But before we dive into the episode, don't forget to like and comment, and don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, as well as following us on TikTok, Instagram, and on X. Lastly, don't forget to join the Discord down in the description below. So let's dive right into this one, co-main event. Let's start with the Rolly Romero and Isaac Pitbull Cruz. This fight had all the ingredients for a fight of the year, or at least a very dramatic, or big, firefight. And I'm not gonna lie, this fight, exceeded my expectations in a bit. What are you guys' thoughts about Isaac Cruz stopping Rolly Romero?
Yeah, this was the fight of the night, I think. And it was a very dramatic fight, very entertaining fight. And I guess we were all wrong, man.
I guess we don't know shit about boxing.
I guess we don't know shit about boxing because in the last episode, we gave our predictions, and all of us were going for Rolly Romero. It turns out that he got absolutely shit on. Completely destroyed from the first round. Pitbull Cruz came out swinging punches, and he clipped him, hurt him extremely bad. Like, I thought it was going to get stopped, honestly, in the first round, which it would have been worse for us, honestly. Yeah. But he made it all the way to the 8th round, where he finally got stopped. I think it was correctly stopped. And I really got nothing else to say other than congratulations to Pitbull Cruz. He did what he said he was going to do. Went straight at Rolly and just landed some power punches and got him out of there.
Yeah, same here. I don't really have much to say, but I am sad that my favorite fighter, one of my favorite fighters, did get stopped horrendously.
It really is sad. Like I don't know. I just felt it was sad to see Rolly go out like that, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and also, I guess let's break it down a little bit. I mean, Rolly did not. Yeah, I mean, he came in with the wrong game plan. I don't know why he thought. I don't know why he thought it was a good idea to start swinging with Pitbull Cruz. I believe it was the first punch that hurt him was them trying to both exchange left hooks. And from then on, Rolly was just kind of like on the defensive, kind of going more on the back foot type stuff.
Yeah, he messed up because he kept on throwing a 6, his right hand, like as an uppercut from far distance. So he tried to cover so much ground from it, and then he tried to come back with the hook as well. Isaac Cruz, he saw the uppercut, he blocked it, and he also threw a hook as well. It was game over. I mean, he was on Bambi legs. Yeah. Like, the whole internet is memeing Rolly right now.
So fun. Yeah, because, all the lead up to the fight, Rolly Romero saying he's gonna make easy work of Pitbull Cruz. He got a Chihuahua. Yeah. Named him Isaac Cruz. So there's a lot of beef leading up to the fight. So seeing how instantly in the first round Rolly was put on Bambi legs, everyone was going super crazy. And I thought it was gonna the fight was gonna end after the first round. I was holding my breath. I can't lie. I was like, please, Rolly, not like this, man. Not like this.
It was bad because Rolly was hurt. It was on the verge of getting stopped. He got those clinching powers though. I mean, maybe it was the judo practice that he used to do, but he was clinching Isaac Cruz with his life because it really did depend on it. So, fantastic performance by Pitbull Cruz. I mean, I really have nothing else to say other than he just shut everyone up. But he was the favorite though.
Yeah.
So this wasn't actually an upset. I think it was just mainly an upset for us.
For us, yeah.
But he was the favorite coming in, and I guess the community did have it right because it really wasn't close.
Yeah,
at all.
It wasn't close at all. Now Pitbull is a world champion for the first time in a new weight class and stuff like that. So congrats to him. Funny enough, though, we weren't the only ones who had the wrong prediction. Tank he also tweeted out saying that Rolly was gonna win.
Yeah, even Tank Davis. All right, so it's not like we don't know shit about boxing.
Yeah, if you guys want to say we don't know shit, then Gervonta Davis doesn't know shit about boxing.
You know, I referred back to his judgment because he fought both of them, right? Like,
He should have the best insight,
right? Yeah.
He claimed that Rolly Romero hit harder than Isaac Cruz. So that's saying something.
That is saying something. He felt both powers. Yeah.
He tweeted on the same day, bro. You guys can look at the Twitter.
Look at the receipts.
Yeah, they're there, man. They're there.
But
go for it.
It was interesting because Isaac Cruz's debut at 140 and he becomes world champion. And so that's very impressive. But I think it does come with some little context of Rolly Romero was the weakest champion at the 140-pound division.
Yeah, we've said it before here too, so don't throw it at us saying we're switching up.
Yeah, because
we ain't switching up.
We like Rolly.
Yeah.
But we can't deny the fact that he was the weakest. I mean, if he went up against Matias, like, let's be honest, guys. Yeah, so I think it's great shot for Isaac Cruz. I mean, he took the opportunity, calculated risk because he did go up 5 pounds, but it really did nothing to him. I mean, he seemed still like strong. He seemed way stronger than Rolly. His punches were even harder. His gas tank held up perfectly fine. But now he has a strap. And he's going to have a lot of targets on his back now, from other world champions. Maybe they see him as a smaller guy, maybe he doesn't belong at the 140 division. So how does he fare up against one of those other champions?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I was going to ask you guys, how do you guys see him in the ring? Like, did he look chubby? Or like in your personal opinion?
I mean, he always kind of looks chubby.
He's just wide.
He's just a wide body type of guy.
Like straight up built like a pit bull.
Straight up Mexican.
Yeah, so, I mean... He looked. I don't know. I didn't see a huge difference.
Yeah.
In his appearance.
For me, he kind of looked the same, but other than that, his back did seem like it was bigger. That's where the 5 pounds went.
He's a big dude, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's just wide.
He weighed 138.8 in the weigh-ins.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I don't think maybe he wasn't even like trying to like put on that much weight. It's kind of like Manny Pacquiao against Margarito.
Yeah.
He fought it was like 154, but Manny came in like at 150. He didn't really care. So yeah, I don't know. It seems the weight had played no factor in this fight, which was actually kind of surprising because I expected it to, do something because Rolly is a big guy. He's like 2-3 inches taller than Cruz, and he's also wide as well. I mean, he has a lot more muscle, but no, did absolutely nothing in this fight.
Yeah. Well, now I guess the question is who's next for Cruz?
I saw people were saying, oh, him and Matias would be a war, based on styles, and I think that would be a great fight. But I like to see him up against someone like a Ryan Garcia, someone who kind of, or just let me rephrase that. I want to see him up against someone who clashes well with his style, because if you put Isaac Cruz against the Devin Haney, who's just gonna box you all night long, I mean, I feel like Devin Haney is the best 140 pounder, or the second best, because number one is Devin Haney. They regard him as the king of the 140. So, and I think he'd just put Isaac Cruz in the clinic. Just give him clinic. So I think that for the entertainment value, put him up against someone who stylistically would be a great matchup for him. One who would clash with him, who would throw down with him, and that's like a Subriel Matias, maybe even Teofimo Lopez. Because that's the type of opponent Teofimo Lopez looks good against. So I think it just depends on the styles that you want to put him up against.
Yeah, I mean, if I feel like they shouldn't really rush him. I feel like take it slow for him. New weight class. He just made his debut. He looked amazing, but it's still a new weight class. So take it slow with him. I don't want to see him fight against like a Devin Haney, because then his reign is gonna be short lived. Like, let's be honest. Yeah, I think Haney would beat him. But he has so much hype. It sounded like he was a superstar in there, man.
Yeah.
So if PBC can play it right, they might be able to build him up into like a Mexican great. because he just became a world champion. Fights like mini Mike Tyson, the Pitbull Cruz. I mean, he looks like a monster in there. And I think if they play it right, if they give him the right opponents, he can become Mexico's next superstar.
Yeah, and I'm not sure about Mexico's next superstar, but for sure, like these next couple of years, definitely, Cruz can definitely start making quite a bit of money. Can start definitely getting his name out there into people who don't really know him too much and stuff like that. I know he has he has the same manager as Manny Pacquiao, or the same advisor as Manny Pacquiao. So I mean, he has a great team behind him. So I think I'm pretty sure they will be able to play this right. So I'm gonna assume maybe I won't see a unification with him this year, but I can definitely see him defending the title maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I mean, he was blowing the roof off of the arena, like blowing the roof.
Electrifying.
It was insane. Like, and whenever they'd pan to Rolly, boo! Dude, that shit was so funny.
And he was all like, "Happy Easter, everybody."
Happy Easter, everybody. How Jesus resurrected. I'll be back. Dude, he was out of it. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they even gave him an interview, because he was completely out of it.
That.
No.
Yeah.
What? He's literally concussed.
Yeah. He took an ass whooping for like 8 rounds.
Yeah.
Every single round, he was like on Bambi legs multiple times in the fight, and they still were like, "Rolly, give me a second. Give me a second." Like, bro.
I remember, the reporter asked him a question, and you can tell it took him like 2 seconds to be like, "I did not understand what you just asked," and he just grabbed the microphone and just went on the rant. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like, what do you expect? This man, like you said, he got hit with a lot of overhands. Like, he got hit with all these punches, and you're still expecting him to speak coherently, you know, be well aware. Obviously, he's not, man.
Mm-hmm.
He just got stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you were saying, the whole arena was electrifying. It was going crazy.
It was insane. I was actually like really surprised.
Yeah.
Like, Las Vegas, they're a good audience, you know.
Yeah, man, they're going crazy. And I know, you know who else was going crazy? Al Heyman.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, it's my first event. Prime Bezos.
Hey.
Bezos, you see this Bezos?
It was a success.
Very good. Yeah, very good of it. We'll talk about that
Shortly.
Shortly, yeah. But back to Isaac Cruz. Yeah, so Isaac Cruz, where would you rank him in the champions list? Is there's 4 champions at 140. Where would you rank him?
Okay, so I think let's just go down the list. Let's go. Number 1, I got Hitman Haney. You know, I think Haney, the Hitman Haney. I used to have Teofimo Lopez at number 1, but after his shitty performance, I think it's safe to say that I don't think he is number 1 right now. And what?
Say, who's your number 1?
Haney.
Oh, Haney. Oh, really?
I just said Haney. Yeah, Haney. My first is Haney. And we'll see from his Ryan fight. I am expecting him to win, but you never know. You know, you just never know. Number 2, I think Matias. I'll give it to Matias over Lopez. Lopez went down on my list just because just his performances, man. So I got Matias, and then number 3, Teofimo Lopez. Number 4, I got Pitbull Cruz. I still think, you know, he put up a great performance. I still think he's the weakest champion right now. I think if he were to unify, like, in his next fight against any of the other champions, I think he'd come short. Yeah, that's my list.
How about you?
Oh, man, for me, dude, number 1 would either be Haney or Matias. But I think I'm going to have a similar list. I think I'm going to have the same list as you. It's going to be Haney, Matias, Lopez, and then Cruz. Yeah.
Well, for me, number 1, Subriel Matias.
Of course.
The best 140 pounder in the planet.
Glazing.
My favorite, bro. It's my favorite. So number 1, Matias. Number 2, I got Devin Haney. Followed by Teofimo Lopez, and I agree with that. I do believe Pitbull's still the weakest one, but like it's not a crazy like the gap definitely
got
shortened.
Yeah.
It used to be like this, now it's like this. You know, you can make an argument, but but I still do think he's number 4. But it doesn't take away from the statement that he made. And honestly, if you look at Gervonta Davis, what did this do to his resume? Does it look good? Does it look bad?
I mean, it looks great now. I mean,
right?
it looks amazing. His victory over Cruz aged perfectly, because when he fought him, it was a late replacement, and no one knew who the hell Pitbull was. He showed out a very good performance, and then he got a lot of hype, and then he was kind of like meddling. You know, he got some KOs of like Gamboa, but then he had some bad fights against Cabrera. So his career was kind of just going, you know, nothing super good, nothing super bad. But after this performance, I mean, they're gonna be talking about Pitbull Cruz for a while right now, and they're gonna look back at that Tank win and be like, okay, maybe Tank is the real deal.
Or they might just get a rematch.
Honestly,
maybe, yeah.
That'd be a great fight.
He got the following, and then imagine he gets the rematch, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, they're gonna fill that up, man. They're gonna fill up the arena. Pay-per-view buys. Maybe it will do pretty good.
Main event.
Yeah, easily main event.
Rematch at 140.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
Tank Davis's debut at 140, and then
he's already debuted.
fought at 140.
He has debuted actually.
His second fight at 140.
His second fight at 140.
But it'd
now,
be his true, like, for fighting for a belt truly this time.
and it'd be him like. He leaves the 135 division for good and he just like stays at 140. I think that'd be a great fight.
He's never gonna. I don't know.
never.
I don't know. That's a whole different story at that point. But so yeah, that was the Isaac Cruz and Pitbull. That's the same guy.
Rolly and
Pitbull fight. Let us know what you guys thought about that one. So that one was like you said. I thought it was also my favorite fight of the night. Very crazy, very electrifying. It went viral. It was number one trending on X. Man.
Instantly, yeah.
People were just memeing the hell out of Rolly. Anyways, let's roll on down to the main event. Last minute replacement. Sebastian Fundora came in as the underdog against the Australian rising star Tim Tszyu, you know, the undefeated Soul Taker champion at 154 and the king at 154 many had. Yeah, this fight, man, it was what I would say very dramatic in the aspect that, like, you know, the first two rounds, Tim Tszyu was just, you know, that second round especially, you know, he was finding the range, he was finding Fundora's face easily, man, just sharpshooting with rights, he was peppering them. And then the big cut happened. And that's where the whole fight shifted, man. What are you guys' thoughts about Sebastian Fundora's split decision win over Tim Tszyu?
Yeah, this was the bloodiest fight I think I can remember in quite a while. I mean, this reminds me of like Badou Jack when he had that major cut on his forehead. Also, Better Beeve. Remember against Better Beeve also had received a bad cut. But I think this one was just worse, man. It was in a better position, like all the way at the top of the head, but it was gushing blood every single round. The corner could not stop it. I think they should probably invest in a better cutman. You know, honestly, I think they should get Stitch Duran in there. Right. But go. But yeah, it's just so sad to see, man, because they both performed very well, right? Or I mean, let's say Tszyu. Yeah, Tszyu didn't perform. That wasn't Tszyu. Yeah. Especially after that cut. I mean, you could see he could not see. He kept on wiping his eyes. He couldn't see. His vision was impaired. And Sebastian Fundora did a fantastic job. I don't want to take anything away from him. He also had to battle through adversity. Yeah. Because I think in the second round as well, Tim Tszyu fucked up his nose. So for the whole fight, his nose was also gushing blood. I'm sure he was struggling to breathe. He was tasting blood, swallowing all this blood. So he also had to battle through adversity. Yeah. And he had a hard fight. He did very well, but he didn't beat Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, that Tim Tszyu wasn't 100% Tim Tszyu. Yeah. And I think in the rematch, Tim Tszyu would take it. Yeah. Yeah.
So do you agree with the scorecards then?
I personally, I had Fundora winning.
I had Fundora winning as well. Mm-hmm. Because,
I mean, the cut, you know, accidental. There was no, you know, malice in the aspect that it was just completely, it's just unfortunate.
An unfortunate series of events.
He kind of did it to himself too, no?
Yeah, if anything, you could just make the blame it was Tim Tszyu's fault, you know? I mean, obviously it wasn't, but yeah, I mean, he's just so tall, you know, Fundora, so I mean, the elbow just happened to be there when he was, you know, going in and
nasty elbow, yeah.
And the worst part, it was like right at the bell.
1 second on the clock, and then bing, hits his head.
That is crazy. Yeah, imagine if they would have started the main event a minute or two before.
Yeah.
What happened? That's a rabbit hole right there. But anyways, yeah, so very unfortunate. I did have Fundora winning the fight though. I saw some people who were saying like, Tim Tszyu won that fight, but they're gonna give it to Fundora. they deep down knew that Fundora won. If you're saying that, I think Fundora did win the fight. In my opinion.
Yeah, I just think Tszyu didn't do enough. I mean, he's a sharpshooter. This guy is dangerous. He comes forward, calculated, and you see it in the second round. I mean, obviously, we can't see what we saw in the second round and then say that that's how the fight was gonna pan out. But it is true that after the second round, Tim Tszyu was completely in control. I mean, it seemed he wasn't even struggling with the height either. Like, immediately, he got Fundora's distance. He started landing the straight right hand, like, perfectly. He busted up his nose. And then after that, his, like, activity just went down. His activity went down. He couldn't really find his distance, his range. He kept on getting peppered with Fundora's jab. He just couldn't see it. Just could not see it.
Yeah, I think he's definitely going to go back and invest in an actual cut, man. I think it's one of those things where I don't think he's ever really been cut before like that. So I just think he just thought that it was never going to happen to him. And so, Fundora took advantage of that. It's really hard to fight your A game when you can't even see. So Fundora did a good job of just using his distance, really, kind of beating him to the punch.
For the first time ever, he used his distance.
For the first time ever. For the first time ever. So, I mean, do you think they're going to fight again right away?
I don't know. At the end of the fight, Errol Spence Jr. came up on the ring, which is the craziest thing in the world.
He finally appeared.
Yeah, he finally, after he got his ass kicked, he's finally showing his face again. But I ain't gonna lie.
And he looks a little bit bigger too.
No, he's not even training. That boy looked big. But I do like Errol Spence. I can't lie.
Big fish.
The big fish.
But I feel like it should happen. I think the rematch is warranted. I mean, he just didn't beat Tim Tszyu. If I was Fundora, I mean, I know I put up a great fight. I know I was training to fight on this undercard. And I battled through adversity. I did very good. But the guy was gushing out blood since the second round. And, I mean, if you're losing that much blood, it's going to affect your strength. I mean, after we saw Tim Tszyu land a couple of right hands, but you could tell they were not doing the damage that they were doing before. So I honestly think it was he just beat a Tim Tszyu that, was a little weaker. He couldn't see. It was just a bad, unfortunate event at the end of the day.
Do you think that, because, a lot of people are giving Tim Tszyu a lot of credit for the fact that, this cut happened in the second round. He could have claimed and stopped the fight, and it would have just been a no contest because, I mean, it was accidental and it was before the fourth. But they decided to keep on going and battle it out. Do you think that, you could make some people were trying to make the argument that, you can make the argument that it was a show of Tim Tszyu's heart, that he's a throwback warrior that he claims he is? Or could it be that him and his corner were confident that they could stop Fundora before even reaching the scorecards, before the 12th round? Do you think it was a miscalculation, or was it done, or was he just like, I'm still gonna just fight through it?
I think Tim Tszyu just showed his heart. I mean, just like you said, he said it in the post-fight interview. I'm a throwback fighter, and in those old school days of boxing, you're not stopping a fight for nothing. I mean, you're going until you die, and they're like, so that's what Tim Tszyu's mentality was, and I'm sure that his corner was also completely confident in his ability to stop Fundora, even though he was gushing blood. But it just didn't happen. It was maybe too much blood, maybe too much vision. Fundora also 6'6". It doesn't help. So it just didn't happen. But this fight just showed, Tim Tszyu got a lot of balls. He got a lot of heart. And he's not going to, quit for nothing. He has that dog in him. Yeah,
for sure. This fight guarantees me that, yes, he is a dog. He's always been a dog, and he will always be a dog. And he's definitely going to get his belt back. If it's not his own belt, he's going to go out and get another belt for sure. Yeah, easily. Just seeing the 154 landscape, I don't really see anyone, apart from maybe Virgil Ortiz, really giving him a lot of a struggle. Like any of the other champions, he could definitely take on for sure.
I think you're forgetting about Jermell Charlo.
I'm in recess, man.
He's in recess.
No, that boy's in jail.
He's awesome. He's on his own thing. But you said that Errol Spence ended up pulling up to the arena, and he went inside the ring after the fight and kind of called out for a Sebastian Fundora showdown. And then his rival, or his former rival now, Terence Crawford on X was very vocal, saying, "Hey, yo, at Errol Spence, you gotta wait. You gotta wait your turn. Go back of the line." And people were like, "Yeah, like why does Errol Spence deserve a shot at 154, like an immediate title shot over Terence Crawford?" But then my argument for that is like, then tell Crawford to go pull up to the arena and do what Errol Spence did, because he's like, he's himself. He's trying to sell himself, right? Like his brand. So him going to the arena, him pulling up inside the ring after the fight, demanding, calling the champ out right there to his face in front of the fans, in front of the cameras. I feel like that's something Terence Crawford should have done, but he didn't. And I'm like, man, Crawford, maybe you're just hurting yourself, because we know you're a very talented fighter, my pound for pound #1. But he doesn't help himself by not showing out, not showing his persona out there in the public.
He never promotes himself. I feel like it's one of the things. That's one of the reasons why he was always kind of like in
the shadows.
I don't want to say underground fighter, but he never like got the credit that he deserved until the Spence fight.
Yeah.
But before then, I mean, he wasn't really one of the biggest household names. He didn't really have that big of a following. All this stuff. And I think that's partly his own fault, because he doesn't really promote himself. He doesn't market himself that well. It was a genius idea from Spence to get in there and get into the ring and start calling out Fundora, because I mean, he just received a whooping some months ago. He had surgery, and then now, I mean, he wants to get back into the action, wants to get a world title, big money fight. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let me get in the ring and start talking shit on the mic. Like that's what you should be doing.
Yeah, I think definitely not helping Crawford. Crawford has never been a guy who's promoted himself like that. When he was with Top Rank, he would let Top Rank promote him and stuff like that. And I think ultimately that is the reason why they let him go, because like, yeah, he's a really good fighter, but I mean, you're not promoting yourself. People aren't really coming to go watch your fights. It's the same thing with Shakur. Like, yeah, he's such a phenomenal fighter, but I mean, he doesn't really bring that crowd and stuff like that. He doesn't really, do what he needs to do. Yeah, Crawford has always been in the shadows, but he's always been a good fighter. Maybe he should have done that, but I mean, he's a guy that his next fight, he wants to get paid another 20-some million. So he can't get paid 20 million if he goes and fights Tim Tszyu. That's why he's been trying to call out Canelo. And if he doesn't get Canelo, well, he's going to be staying on the sidelines, and that's what's going to end up happening. I'm pretty sure Errol Spence is going to get a title shot probably.
I mean, I don't know.
No, he's not going to get
because I think the winner of the Tim Tszyu versus Fundora, they now have a couple of days to get negotiations with Crawford, yes?
Yeah. The WBO.
Okay.
The WBO, yeah.
So how does that work?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know those details. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, in the next couple of days, yeah.
So Fundora's team has to go and talk with Crawford's team and see when they can find a fight day, arena, money split, and all that.
Terms for a fight.
Just agree for 30 days. If not, then it's going to go to
I don't know what the details
auction. Yeah, someone gets a bid for it.
Yeah. So so if Crawford wants to fight, he has first pick. Honestly, Spence doesn't have first pick, so it's all up to Crawford if he wants them. And I think he should make that fight. Honestly, I'd be if I was Crawford, I'd be itching for that fight, because you get another champion in a new division. That's just another belt in your accolades. I'm pretty sure he's gonna beat Fundora, but it's good experience fighting a 6'6" guy. That never really happens.
Yeah.
And it just gets his name out there more. Fundora has a lot of hype around him right now, obviously because he won the world title, but because this fight was super bloody. So this is going to be it's a viral fight. He's going to be a viral name for a while. He's going to be riding the hype. I think it's a perfect time for Terence Crawford to come down and fight him to steal off the hype.
Yeah. I think it was the WBO. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore. But yeah, they have 5 days after the fight to start negotiations with their #1 mandatory, which is Terence Crawford. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Crawford should be fighting more though. Yeah. He should be more active. He hasn't fought since the Errol Spence, and I mean, he didn't get damaged at all. Pretty easy work for him. So I mean, you would expect him to at least try to come back, but he hasn't came back. He hasn't announced anything. There's clips of him being at the gym. So there's still a lot of discussion of what's his next move, because look, Terence Crawford is calling out or wants a shot at 154. Yet he holds 3 out of the 4 belts at 147, and there's Boots Ennis there in that division who's waiting for him, you know, who wants to fight with him. So, I mean, the fact that he's doing Boots dirty like that, shouldn't really go. What's the word? You shouldn't really sympathize for him because, you know, he's asking for a shot 154 and they're going to do him dirty, but he's also doing dirty to
the weight class.
Yeah, he's doing dirty to the whole division, the 147. I mean, he's holding up the division by just not fighting, inactivity. He holds 3 of the belts, like you said, and he's giving no one a shot. Instead, he's looking at other divisions. Well, I want to go to 154 and fight the winner. Oh, I want to go to 168 and fight Canelo. It's like, okay, well, I mean, decide which of the 3. You're going to stay at 147, defend the belts. You're going to go to 154, challenge Fundora, or you're going to go to 168 and fight Canelo, which isn't going to happen. Canelo already shut that shit down. So he just has 2 options now. And he's being a bit indecisive, trying to juggle both of them like at the same time. It's like you're just doing damage to the sport, and especially like the boots of the 147 divisions, like all those fighters. I mean, they want belts, they want titles, they want big money fights. And he's just there being like, oh, these guys are beneath me, this and that. But it's like, bro, get in the ring. You're a fighter. Like, what the heck? Get your ass in the ring and fight.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess we'll just have to see how this negotiations go. Like, within the next 30 days or whatever, they have to decide. If not, then it goes somewhere else.
Or it doesn't even happen.
Yeah.
No.
Well, the PBC, I mean, I think they'd love a fight like that. PBC on Prime Video, because this was their first
showcase.
Yeah, first showing, and I can't lie, I was very impressed.
Yeah.
You know, I had high hopes for this partnership, and they definitely delivered. You know, from the animation to all just the small things. That's what I like to see. I like to see the small things in promotions, making it run smooth, making all this stuff, and it really looked like great. There was like new little animations. It was like gold. It looked really, really good.
Yeah.
So I was definitely impressed. Not only that, but also just the undercard. The whole event was like action packed, bro. Even from the very beginning, we got a 17-year-old Carmel Moten,
yeah.
No, I think it's Moten or Matan.
I don't know.
It's those would names be hard, but Carmel Moten, whatever. Action packed. Next fight with action packed. Every single fight was action packed. Even Lara was action packed, and he's like one of the most boring fighters in the world.
No, he never disappoints.
No, he's boring.
No. He used to be one of my favorite fighters back in the day.
He is boring.
Third round KO.
Yeah.
Oh, was it? I thought it was second, but okay, yeah. But KO, yeah.
I still got the KO. Yeah, that's the thing. Matchmaking for the entire card was perfection, man. It's like, you know, that meme where it's like someone's like writing what's on fire, like they're
It's
cooking.
like the Gundam meme. Yeah. He's like writing a script and his fucking house burning.
Yeah. So yeah, from the prelims, the free showing, we had 2, which were the Carmel and also the return of Brian Mendoza. Those 2 fights were crazy, man. They were going at it. And then the opener was an insane matchup at 112 between El Rey Martinez and Cordoba, and that fight was just going crazy. And then Lara, out of all people, gets a knockout, man, like that. And then you got the Rolly, and then you got the Tim Tszyu. But yeah, the overall matchmaking for the entire card was incredible. Also, like the animation that you said. But the thing I liked the most was the pacing of the event, because they kept it a good pace. Because, you know, when it comes to PBC and Showtime, they take huge gaps in there. Like it'd be like an hour or so of waiting, and that's what a lot of these other promoters be doing. You know, I remember the Munguia and John Ryder. The pacing for that event was atrocious. It was like an hour, some of us waiting in between fights. But this one, it was like maybe 20-some minutes, and then boom, they get the next one going. After that one, and boom, they go and get the next fight going. Even the Lara KO, boom, right away, they got it going. So the pace was phenomenal, and I think that was my favorite part about it.
It just made the whole watching experience much better.
Yeah,
like
entertaining.
for boxing fans, that's what we want to see. We just want to see fights in a smooth and live streamed, you know what I'm saying? Like good.
Yeah, we don't want to see Tim Bradley talking for like 40 minutes about something that don't make sense.
Or Mark Kriegel. Oh my God.
Bro, we don't want to see those motherfuckers just talking shit, bro, being haters and everything, bro.
Don't want to see that,
dude.
Or bias as fuck too,
Bias
bro.
as fuck, talking about some shit for like 40 minutes, like not even talking about the fight. Oh my gosh. But yeah, so this, I think it was definitely very impressive, and for a first showing, they did a phenomenal job. I don't think they could have asked for a better fight card.
How do you compare it with some of the other ones? Is it better? Like Top Rank, like the production, like Top Rank production, like Golden Boy production, like the way it's run. Like,
I'd compare it to like Top Rank, like professional. Yeah. I like their color scheme a lot more. Their color scheme is like more gold, whereas Top Ranks obviously is blue and white.
Yeah.
But so it reminded me kind of like the transitions, all this cool stuff. It reminded me of that. It was very professional. But I think like the color scheme and all that type of stuff, I liked the PBCs more.
Yeah.
And also I think they were quicker as well with the replays.
Dude. Quick. I hate when I have to just add like, bro, show me the fucking replay. Time. Until like the fighters are basically in the locker room, they start showing the replay.
Finally, they start showing the shit.
Yeah, the whole event was great, man. I think it's rightfully the best card of the year so far, and it honestly like probably one of the most entertaining cards I've seen in a very long time from start to finish. Like no fight was boring. It was crazy. I thoroughly enjoyed the entire card.
Yeah, so they PBC and Amazon Prime set the bar super high. Their next pay-per-view event is Saul Canelo Alvarez fighting Jaime Munguia in May 4th. So I'm expecting a great matchmaking there as well. I'm expecting, hopefully, once they start coming out with like the undercards and all this stuff, hopefully they have some good fighters in there, you know, so to make the whole event entertaining, not just the main event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just like, I'm sold on Prime Video. I think they did a phenomenal job. Hopefully they get, you know, compensated via fucking money and via good numbers from the pay-per-view. Yeah. So yeah.
Also, another thing that I liked that they did was you know how HBO had the 24/7 or Showtime the you know how they all access. Yeah, they would show like 2-3 weeks before the fight date their fighters, what they're doing, training and stuff like that. I forgot what they called it.
Gloves off.
Yeah, I like that too. Like the production and stuff like that. At that, it was pretty high quality. It was really good. Yeah, they did it for the Rolly Romero and Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah,
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Because that was a true main event.
That was a true main event. So I'm actually curious to see how the Canelo Munguia one looks.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. But yes, that was the first Prime / PBC boxing fight card of the year and of ever. You know, that's the first one they've ever had. So it was huge, successful in my opinion. We'll have to see the pay-per-view number, see how well it did. But I can guarantee that more people would be willing to buy pay-per-views for the next event based on how this entire card went.
Yeah.
Lastly, let's talk a little bit about the let's switch over.
Okay.
Let's talk a little about Top Rank. You know, they had a fight card on Friday, headlined by the return of Oscar Valdez at 130, taking on Liam Wilson. He got the stoppage in there. He looked phenomenal. He looked great. He returned well, and he looked like a revamped Oscar Valdez 3.0 perhaps. So what are you guys' thoughts about Oscar Valdez, and how does he shape up for the future of 130?
I'm happy for him.
Yeah.
Because he's gone through like ups and downs in his career, man. And I look at him as like the gatekeeper of the elites.
Ooh.
Like his losses are against Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson. Those are like some of the best guys. I mean, we're talking about like historic fighters, you know what I'm saying? Iconic fighters. But everyone else he beats everybody else. And going into this fight, I thought as well, I was like, I think Oscar Valdez should win this fight just because of the fact I don't think Liam Wilson is an elite. You know, and I just think Oscar Valdez is like one of the best B-level fighters of all time. You can even be like an A- fighter that just like gatekeeps right there.
Right.
Yeah. So then I was happy for him because he's after his last defeat against Navarrete. It seemed that he wasn't sure about his career going into the future. Seemed he was like crying, all this type of stuff. But it seems, he took it. He revamped himself. He looked great in there. He got the stoppage and he got a world title.
Yeah.
Or interim
world title.
Interim, yeah.
Which is, he'll probably be promoted to the full after Navarrete wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's either that or does he have to fight for it?
No,
or he would just be upgraded to the fully
if Navarrete
status
wins,
champion.
if Navarrete wins the title, then he's gonna be upgraded.
Upgraded.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, funny enough, I'm of the similar thinking. I'm kind of happy for him. Funny that you say that he's the gatekeeper. I would say that's kind of like the perfect way to put it, because when he was an amateur, he tried to be on the USA boxing team for the United States. He didn't make it, so he went to Mexico and represented Mexico at the Olympics. And then at the Olympics, he fought Lomachenko.
Oh shit!
And then
Really?
Lomachenko beat him. Yeah. So there goes the gold medal from there. But yeah, I would say so too. Yeah. I would say he's a good B+ fighter for sure. And I was kind of surprised though. I was kind of what you said. I was kind of unsure how he was going to perform, just going on further from here, further from his loss against Navarrete. He didn't look like I think he looked like he was unsure about what his next move was. And so fighting Wilson, I thought Wilson was going to win. I thought Wilson was just going to outbox him. And no, Valdez showed that he isn't going to go anywhere. He's still here for the long run. So yeah, congrats to him. I don't really have much to say other than that. Yeah, he just kind of surprised me.
Yeah, so now he's back up at 130, and he has a lot of open, doors have opened now more because of this. People now see him like, hey, like he's back, he's going once again to get a title at 130. But I mean, let's put this into perspective. Let's say Navarrete wins and then Valdez is upgraded to a full champion at 130. I think he could unify against Lamont Roach. A great matchup. I think the best matchup would be Oscar Valdez versus O'Shaquie Foster. That's my top fight for 130 right now. If that ever happens, if he ever becomes champion, if he gets elevated. Cordina has a fight coming up, so let's see how that one ends for him. But yeah, O'Shaquie Foster, Oscar Valdez, I think would be a great fight at 130.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, so yeah, Valdez has a lot of opportunities now, and hopefully he takes them. I think he will take them. He seems like he's motivated again. Seems like he's back on his A game now. So we just have to wait and see what he does next and what his move is. Yeah.
Yes. So I think we covered everything so far. Yeah. So let us know down below. Is this the return of Oscar Valdez? Does he have another shot at becoming a champ at 130? How do you guys see his future panning out for him? Also, let us know down below. Tim Tszyu versus Sebastian Fundora. Should there be a rematch? Did the cut affect Tim Tszyu? I think that's very clear.
Yeah.
And let us know about Rolly and Isaac Cruz. Were you happy? Were you sad? Did you cry? Let us know what happened when you guys witnessed that 8th round TKO by Isaac Pitbull Cruz. Lastly, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps us out a lot, as well as following us on all forms of social media. We are on TikTok, X, and Instagram. Lastly, you can find all these links down below, as well as our link towards our Discord channel. Don't forget to join and we're trying to build up a community. So, pop right in and tell us everything that you're thinking about the sport of boxing. But yes, this was Pablo, and I'm with Rudo and Asa. And this was the Last Round Podcast. Thank you for watching.